Say Jeffrey.
Yes. If anybody's got any plastic tickets, I'm collecting them.
Be careful how high you put that arm. Gotta be careful how you put that, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Here's setting dog. Here's anyone attack. Here, you're getting called out of school. Between here and here, red zone. No, you gotta be careful.
Are you saying hello to your table? Is that what you're doing? You just stopped by to say hello? I could tell by the way you were. No, I meant you were saying hello. Everybody saw it from across the room, how you said hello to that table, so. You almost clicked your heels together.
Oh, Mr. Zergat. Sure got it. Sure got it. I think after 50 years, I can get that right, you know? Thank you very much.
If you will.
Conversation went from yes,
These.
the hell, and finally I said, I changed the subject. The funniest thing is, you know, I don't know if you guys remember, they're over last year, right before I got my work. They come out, we're not within some good before, and I think that was
With the opposite, with the opposite. Yes.
I've had a lot of following. No. So I go to the guy said, well, what's the promise? He said, you can feel in here. I said, one is you can get surgery, then you go to therapy for about 18 months. And he said, the other one is you can do therapy for 18 months.
Three strikes.
I said, so.
Couple pairs.
I don't know.
That is the case.
I don't have all my strengths. Where did you get the surgery? Oh, I got my.
I officially sold it.
Yeah. You sold the full here?
Well, this is my left.
You know, you got him.
Sure. It shows that we pull the one.
A lot of crazy. Had it like a bow. You have to shake this thing. Vibrate. How are you today, Jorge? Sir?
Yeah.
One was the strap. Take the belt off. Take the belt off.
Oh, that's 30 seconds.
So let's say this is the bad. Over your shoulder of the strap, grab it behind your back, put through the stomach of the hole. Like, hold on. So then they bring it all the way up. They kind of, like when I first started.
Before you start crying, you know you did, right?
Well, once I was able to put the belt on. That's the whole idea. One day you get your arm.
Well, I gotta help stretch it. I do the same thing.
This is no strength here. This is this. You put it behind, and you just pull.
Yeah.
Then it creates. Well, anyway, would it be bigger with your closer down and the harder one for this one? Like, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right. Yeah. Yeah, white over. But we're not covered down there yet. Hang on. Oh, that was. And yours on vacant too, right? Yeah.
It's not a hot therapist.
You are again with the same. I'm glad you're pointing this out to me. Then you address your nose, that's my Encore now.
They offered me a year ago, selling them. And I said, no, because I want to work out. You know, like,
So I had to have her for a long time, but I had to talk to that guy, he does all the work. Have you ever taken a tour of his facility? He's got like glass furnaces in there. Everything, you know, when I had it. So long and short is. He said, but they don't want to get too far away from home. He actually said, this one. He said, so you have a big.
Yeah, I don't know, some people don't always need that, but like, that's true. You build a relationship.
He was quite a guy. I don't care.
You know, fun time, like,
Cleaning up in my shop, the fire It's stronger.
And now everybody's doing themselves. We get a letter calling. Right. Yeah. I owe.
I'll do it, Jack.
Got their MD and I don't think she.
What's your favorite house? Do you? Never go to but no, it's not hours.
Then you gotta have a rebar inside the house, but it's certain like every foot means like just rebar or on the inside.
That's the number I have.
It depends again how they're.
I do know where it's.
John, you're Starbucks.
Guy has a party.
Health and safety as well.
I looked at Stanford. What's our, I have to go.
There's no dad.
How big is the golf? I saw a picture of the building in the. Certainly, you me in person couldn't get out. You me in person. Couldn't get out. You know.
Yeah, but-
Yeah.
Yeah, but-
Oh.
It's a building that.
I didn't hear anything like that, was there?
That's what it's on. You gotta be building guy in there. It's the one for the light also.
Yeah.
Right across the street.
Oh, the bacon.
And he's staying there. He's staying.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was.
Oh, it was brand new. They had everything down. It was like more decent.
Very long.
It was right next to 500. When you get into the place, you gotta go fix.
Okay, at this time, let's go around table to introduce guests. Ellen, can you introduce your guest?
Yes, I can. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the second appearance, Nikki is here. She really likes our club. She's asked for and received an application to join, and she will be joining the club in the near future. So,
If you have an announcement, now is the time to make it.
Go ahead, Don.
Yeah, I said, I just wanted to make an updated announcement on our toolkit project. Right now I've got 15 applicants. I was at Hoffman High School this morning. Incredible group of kids, just an incredible group of kids. The only thing that we cause is a problem for Dave, because every year that we've done this, his program has enrolled by increased by at least 7% the next year. So he's just bursting at the seams with students. So it's an incredibly good thing for them, but they are stacking them up out there. So, but we're getting a lot of really good kids with some incredibly good stories. We're going to have our awards on Thursday. I told you, it's 17th. It's April 17th. So if any club member is interested in coming to the award ceremony at the auto shop at Hoffman, let me know and we'll get you on the list and get you into the building. It's going to be a good time. When you see the energy in there with parents and kids, it's amazing. It's really worthwhile to attend if you haven't already. So I'll keep you updated, but just to let you know, we're in process.
Just, I received notification that past district governor Suzanne Gibson died this week. So if anyone would been involved, I just wanted to let you know.
That's a tough act to follow. Ladies and gentlemen. So for the classic this year, the Fabbrini family is doing two things where the flower shop is going to donate it's designing in wine design in the flower shop. Woo! And Mary did it last year. We had a great time. People come in and they do a design. And then my wife said that she don't touch that. My wife said that she is going to make 12 desserts, and you can get to pick it and do whatever. So as a kind of way to tout that, as I brought some desserts in that she's made. You guys had some last time about a month ago, and I'm going to pass them around so that you can get a taste of Karen's desserts.
One question. You
Yes.
want to know, is there a buy it now thing for that?
No, there is no buy it now. So she's agreed to do it, and she's a great baker. What we have today is called a homemade Kit Kat bar, and my kids say that it's the closest thing to crack that they've ever tried. So I don't want to know about that.
You gotta know.
Alan would like to tell us about his new work with the real estate company.
So last night I had the pleasure and privilege and honor of being at the Hoffman Estates Chamber Celebration of Excellence with Gene and Linda Dressler. And most of you don't know this, but the Rotary Club of Schaumburg Hoffman Estates was nominated as one of the top service organizations in the Hoffman Estates Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, us.
And they made the mistake of having me be a presenter. And I was the presenter of the award for the best service organization, Hoffman Estates Chamber of Commerce, and we won. Whatever you want to call it, but it's the Hoffman Estates Chamber of Commerce Service Organization of the Year.
Wow.
So
You're presenting it to you.
it was interesting. Yeah, I presented it to me. So it was a really nice event last night. And I want everybody to know that you'll see on the lower right-hand corner that this sign was designed and created by, what's the name of the company?
It's a Divine Science.
Divine Sign. So
888-885. Oh wait, sorry.
885-2000 is Brady's fault. So congratulations to our club.
sending you that picture there. Hey, guys, kind of miss being up here. So
We can arrange that.
we've had the fortune in this club of knowing Gillette Johnson for probably the last year or so, and some of you guys longer than that, but I've never had the fortune of being able to taste Gillette's wines. We all know he's a big wine guy, right? And so we're having a charity event coming up where we are featuring about 6 different wines from Gillette's portfolio of different wines. On February 6th, Diane and I are having a charity event to benefit Designs for Dignity. We've got a number of different restaurants and food from them. We're pairing them up with Gillette's wines, and we're looking to have a really fun time. And so we are looking for people to help us with registration and code check for that. And of course, what comes with that is, getting to sample all of the wines as well and going around and enjoying yourself. So if you guys want to donate or attend the event, it's $75 for a class. That class entitles you to all the food and wine, and you get to go and sample different foods and wines from around the city. So
What's the name of the event?
it's called Little Chill.
And where is it at?
It's at Home Carpet One, which is on Lincoln Avenue in Chicago. It's Lincoln and Belmont, Thursday, February 6th at 6 o'clock. Thank you.
Now, we have a video.
Because from NBC 5 News Chicago, we are right now in the beautiful Turks and Caicos Island. We're looking to see you. Okay?
Did we pay for her to go to the?
If we paid for her to go, I would be sitting there with her and videotaping, and it wouldn't be, anyway. So it's official. Natalie is going to be our host that evening. There was some thought that she might have to work that evening as the anchor, which we were able to work through before, but she will be there live and in person. So things are coming along. We could use some more tickets getting sold, as well as if you know of any more sponsors, but things are coming along fairly nicely as far as the planning goes, and getting all the decorations and things like that. There has been some questions as to what are you going to wear that day. So next week you'll have a video and we'll figure out what you're going to wear, but I would suggest clothes, but what type of clothes is what we'll definitely figure out. But it's fairly informally formal, so hopefully everybody will be wearing pants and maybe something Hawaiian and Caribbean and things like that, but definitely a lot of fun. So please share anything that's on social media about this, because every time it seems to go out, we get a couple of people that sign up and want to come, and even some that just want to buy the raffle tickets. So the Caribbean Classic, March 8th, right around the corner, eerily close. Woohoo! You're gonna do that to me, huh?
Is anybody happy? Diane, can you collect as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm happy just because I'm in my favorite place to be every week.
Nice.
One of y'all is happy, so I'm not allowed to be fined today.
Yeah, it works like that. Okay, Gillette.
I was in Arizona this week. It was cold, windy, and crappy. I'm glad to be back. I got work.
Okay,
Follow us. Ha
Wes.
Well, I'm $5 happy. I had a doctor's appointment today, which usually sucks, right? I hate doctor's appointments. I hate going to these. This was a happy doctor's appointment. Found out that we are 11 weeks on, so we're pregnant at our third.
Roger, I actually am going on a Caribbean cruise on February 8th, and I'm going to do some footage like Nelly did in the Speedo.
Awesome.
And we're gonna send it to the Facebook page.
How much do we pay if you knock this up?
Then the ticket sales.
That's right. Meet famous pickleball champion Jeff Miller.
Yes.
Okay, is that it on happy hours? Gene, are you happy? Yeah, good.
So I have, 3 happy dollars, my daughter Bailey, she has opening night tonight and, for Les Miserables at the Prairie Arts Center. She will be Madam, Art. I can never say the name, Madam T, in the Revolutionaries cast. And then I have, 2 happy dollars for a total of 5 because I had such an amazing time last night watching Alan Gabe, get us our award at the celebration last night and got to spend some quality time with him. But 5, total of 5.
Fantastic. Queen of Hearts.
Today, I feel it's the same.
Roger, I forgot, I do have 5 heavy dollars,
Spin the wheel.
I was fined $500 from the Illinois Department of Hallway because I didn't update my credit card. And,
Sorry, man, I hit the button before you stood up.
Okay, that's all right. I just found out, I took a phone call, Alan gave, I took a phone call while I was in the club and, I went and took the phone call from the, I asked people and I got out of all those fines and they're just charging me for.
All right.
It's always negotiable.
So
Always
$5 for
negotiable.
them, I'm happy.
You just call him up and say, is that the best you can do?
I did.
All right, that's great. So Ted, what number do you want?
This is your day, Ted. You're gonna win it.
That's over here, Roger.
Oh, I know.
Ted, you wanna end this, right?
Ted's gonna win it.
I thought that was. Yeah, I'm not good for the.
Ted's gonna win. Working on it. Ted's gonna win. Put us out of misery, Ted. You can do it, Ted. Just pick one number. Just go. Just go. Go. 35.
35.
You're in.
Ted picked his age.
Roland Harper. Ted is gonna get it today. Feel it? Wait. Go ahead. Tell him.
Very close. It is the Jack of Hearts.
Oh, so close. If Bobby would have said missed it by that much.
36.
All right, enjoy lunch.
Don't want that much money unless you.
I told you this a couple of weeks ago, the guy out of the.
We're waiting.
He's waiting
Waiting for Al.
So someone in the middle of the ones, could you pass the butter as well?
Yeah, okay, right, and I'll share something like that.
So. They have to.
Veterans of war.
I don't know. So it's all we didn't. Yeah. Doctor.
That's not usually the gift, but it's Al. Did you see an Adam's apple? I mean.
I saw some. Say those things along with crop.
Project.
Yeah, keep carrying it. We're all lucky. We're zero.
Yeah, I heard.
Yes, there it is here.
You don't have to be a veteran. You gotta be a veteran. When you can go.
I did all the time, and I cleaned, and I did.
We had a
dishes, so
guy
I always
that
wanted
called that
to-
one time.
back to- So my mom was like, your house is better.
Yeah, Ryan.
I was-
We have a meeting in the town.
You're like, oh,
We're in the middle of that right now. You know, I wish I could tell you I had all these things like well planned.
it's all just like-
I think it's nice.
Set her up in a nice.
Where are we going with this?
Anything is possible.
That's a night.
So you guys, when I was in work with that thing. Went around the room back to the side. It's nice. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Hello.
Three kids.
Travel.
Did I see the sticker?
Wait till you try. We're going right for it.
Wait, one more.
Last one out there. One last good thing. I guess, you know.
I got a message, I don't remember the celebration the night before.
Stay out of their way. Good, right? It's a, Christmas time. Yeah, it does take. I gotta bring that to the store. Want some more?
Where'd it go?
Well, that is, that's I just don't do it.
You have supervisor.
So we report this on yourself. Great. So now we're waiting. Which is a road. So the deal was- Yeah, I don't know.
You're bad.
Were you sober when you entered into it? Well, I mean, it seems fair, right? Since they're in there anyway, but if they're not. Stairs. Tough on me. Now I'm.
like just about everything that's happened.
Eat your ice cream. He was 2 weeks early, he was 10 pounds, 2 weeks early. Well, like, I don't know when you're. Are you sure? So you're gonna have to get us a secret. Oh, no. We were never getting educated.
Generation. We're trying to. And I think that.
I was great.
I said.
I was going around my family. You ever heard the name of
Layout of your space. Strong arm man. I want this to. What about your we did it. He made it. And we were all like, yeah. I mean, yeah. But never finished.
My dad, I don't think my dad ever went past. He owned no business.
Oh, Don.
They don't have
Remember that guy?
He never went to school.
So let's see, you tell me some. This parent. That's cousins. Well, I'm waiting for my great granddaughter. So I don't know so much. Great grandfather.
They could have done it for you.
My grandfather. Yeah. And great, like somebody else. My great grandfather. This is going to Washington.
Oh, they're just gonna wait you out.
He disperses all around. Get another apartment, get us all back, and we used to go to the bar. When they started pasta sauce. Pasta.
I'm gonna try it for, yeah, I like.
That's what we're doing.
Well, I bring her best friend. Because it's her birthday. Also, she, I mean, her in my house, or in my house, we talk about her video, she's pregnant. And so I'm gonna tell her that she's 411, so I can be this far. And they're up against that day, so I'm gonna go to the Cubs and Mets game, and it's all of our, they have no idea.
Why would you buy it?
That's three tickets.
25 should be 26 that weekend.
So they very shoot it in, like half the.
But I didn't.
He made it good.
Wait.
Yeah, but.
So I'm a cool.
Diane's a lot different than.
I am. And mine is good. I think for this. One night. And I think one night. And I'll buy all the drink. I don't think it's a bad.
That's why.
They're gonna get every bar tattoo.
And no matter how old they are. You'll find a 45.
It's different, they just want money for the house.
Oh, yeah. My daughter.
Put down. It's serious stuff, like. Yeah, we're buying a house.
I'm gonna.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hunter Frolic, Fine Master, Mr. Alan Gay.
Not gonna help. All day long.
Hello, friendly club. You know, it's a very small turnout today. And so Roger told me that I'm gonna have to up the fines to make up for the people who aren't here. Just
Want me to bill everyone?
Those people never paid fine.
Yeah. That's what we're gonna start doing. If they're not here, we're finding them. Can I have a couple people to collect with Vince, of course, over there, Diane? Chief, excuse me. So if you did not reach out to Jim and Bonnie McCullough, that'll be $2. Both of them are under the weather. John is on his way back. That is getting better. So is Bonnie. So if you haven't reached out to them, you know, we are the friendly club. That'll be $2. If you didn't reach out to Barry and Marilyn because of Marilyn's knee surgery, that'll be $2. If you aren't wearing your pin, that's $2. Badges, $2 late, $2. If you have your jacket or coat over the back of your chair, you know that's a $2 fine. Lauren Trumbull, I saw that you came late today and you're making up for that by leaving early. So that'll be, in addition to the scooter button that you're paying for, that'll be another $2. If you didn't go to the fellowship event Wednesday at I Smell Bacon, that'll be $2.
How was it, Alan?
It was great. Yeah, really good. I talked to people who went to it.
I did too.
He didn't ask me, did I have a good time at it? Yes, how was the event? It was great. And you know, advertising today, Jeff, that'll be $5, you know the rule. If you are named Roger Smith and you were making fun of my alma mater not going to a bowl game this year, that'll be $5. So last week I fined everybody $3 for not turning in plastic tickets, and I said it's going to escalate. So today it's about $4 if you haven't turned in any plastic tickets. If you haven't turned in a silent auction item or items, that's a couple bucks. So Tom, that picture is really embedded in my mind, and I'm going to have nightmares of you in a Speedo. So that would be $2. That was Jeff.
Jeff.
That was Jeff. You just
Oh.
wish. I have it on right now. I'll tell you what, Jeff, if you're wearing Speedos right now and you show us, I'll pay $20.
Me too. Well, I'll double that.
I'm sorry, Tom, I'm sorry, I meant Jeff, so Jeff, it's in my mind.
Thinking on your part.
But Tom did tell me he was gonna wear coconut bra at the classic, so that's one idea we can wear. So Wes,
Sir,
you said you had a doctor's appointment?
you know, okay, so I had to start it that way.
Okay, fine, Right, okay. I was wondering, why would you have a doctor's appointment? You're not in person. Okay, fine. Okay, $2. If you don't have a guest at your, if you don't have a guest at your table, that'll be $2. If you have not proposed a new member to the club in the last month, that'll be $2. And if I didn't find you, that's a miracle, but pay $2.
Woo! Can I ask you a question? I know that everything I say isn't all of it. So, how do we find out that like Jim and Bonnie, is there something that I'm not getting, or is it just word of mouth? Like I found out that, you know, Bill's brother died way too long afterwards. I mean, is there a formal mechanism, or is it just word of mouth?
Bill's brother, I sent an email.
For some reason.
With last week, he announced, Bonnie and Jim, and then it would have gone into the newsletter. But you better get that. I mean, I get it.
But no, that's a good point. I think if anybody finds out something about, yeah, if anybody finds something out about somebody in our club, they should contact the president and he'll send out a blast to everybody. That's a good point, Jeff. So you can give them back $2. You're unfined. No, it's my idea.
Unified.
You're not good at it, somebody drives.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never wanted. New Year's Eve.
There's people that are.
We did it. Oh, you mean?
All right. I didn't tell you guys ahead of time that you're gonna get sick of me today, but you're gonna be sick of me today. So, today, the program is RYLA. We're gonna talk about RYLA, right? And what is RYLA? It's Rotary Youth Leadership Award, and what it is an overview of the program is that we donate money to area high schools to sponsor kids to go to a retreat for a weekend. And the retreat is it says a lot about you're gearing up for me, huh, Tom? Sorry.
Yeah, thanks, pal. I really
tend to move
appreciate
around.
you. I know,
Sorry.
yeah. I know you can't talk without moving.
So, you know, I don't know if Bob Fleischer had picked it this way, that first Josephine would go last week, and then RYLA is this week. Now, Josephine was a parole officer, and that's kind of like the bad end of what happens to kids, you know, when they don't do things right. And this is kind of the good thing that happens to kids. Kids are selected by their teachers, and the teachers will send them to me. They write an essay, and the essay is about youth leadership. And then they get this award. They go to this retreat, and it is it's a moving experience for them. Now I know that because I sent both of my kids to it, and they came back and they still talk about it. And this is 10 and 12 and 14 years ago. They still have friends that went to this program, and it's a very moving project, and one that I think is worth our time. I'm also going to say to you that I've got some heavy hitters with me. Sean Nelson is here with us, and he's going to talk a little bit about the program. He's the district chair, and then we have boots on the ground. Wesley Crockett also went to this, and he's going to talk a little bit about it as well. So I'm not. In conclusion, I'm not going to take any more time, Sean. I know I asked you to come in, and I'm not sure what happened with the time. Sean literally just got here a few minutes ago, so good timing. And then when you're done, Sean, we're going to have Wes talk. All right?
Sure. Wes, that's your age, man. I'll take whatever you're. Thanks for saying that. He says as my wife says, they ask me to do this every year because they just won't find anyone dumb enough to work this hard for free. So every year I've been the RYLA chair for the last 24 years. I'm going to stick to this talking points, otherwise I'll speak forever. I'm going to clasp my hand because someone told me a new trick. They said, put your fingers together like this. You won't talk as fast. So RYLA, almost every RYLA has, almost every district has a RYLA program for anywhere from ages 13 to 30. Ours is a high school student clinic. We have 2 weekends, one in the first weekend of March, first weekend in April. They used to go to Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, and found out they were losing money, so they moved it to these. I was part of the Elgin Y at the time, 25 years ago. I was 2. And they said, we could move the RYLA program to this Y camp and run the RYLA program there. And they did. They said, so that first year that we were asked to do it, you know, half the Y staff was the group facilitators, the speakers were Y staff. It looked, smelled, and felt like a YMCA camp. And I sat there thinking, Pam, we're robbing these kids. So fast forward a few years later, they asked me to do it because that CEO was let go, and I was the only person they had. And I said, I'd be happy to take it over, but can we get speakers that will help these kids become better leaders and have staff that wants to be there rather than they're forced to be there because they're Y staff? They said, Sean, do whatever you want, just break even. So terrifying. And it all went away. Hold on a sec. There we go. So that's where we began. And I look for speakers who speak to teenagers. You know, we're good speaking to teenagers because I don't know how to make kids better leaders. I mean, if you ask me today, why is our RYLA so successful? I'll just tell you, I listened to the students. I never did anything or made any moves, any changes, rehired a speaker, had any staff back. The students didn't rate very highly instead of help them become better leaders. So the goal of RYLA, and this keeps kind of changing, it always seems to be in a state of flux, is to help kids become better leaders, introduce students to service above self and Rotary, and to make friends from other communities who are like-minded. Much like Jim said, my daughter, son, and my youngest daughter all still have friends. They have these friend groups that they text and they still get together. My oldest daughter's 28, and she still is in touch with their freshman RYLA group. So they do make lifelong friendships. So we are achieving that. I'll get to the leadership thing here towards the end. What's it take to put the conference together? If I had a Jim Fabbrini at every club, it'd be the easiest thing on the planet. I don't know how he does it. I even stopped by as far as please come by. But that's a little bit of the truth. We have to have someone that goes to the schools, lets the school know this is an impactful program. It's free to the students. They're going to have a great experience. They're going to come back better leaders. They're going to come back wanting to lead, knowing they can lead,
knowing their leadership strengths and weaknesses and who they need to surround themselves with. And if you just mail the materials, it's called the Rotary Youth Leadership Awards. Sounds awful on paper. It does. I went to the National Rotary Youth Leadership Conference. I'm like, they're like, what's the award? I'm like, there's no, we don't give them an award. So we got to change the name. But as bad as it looks on paper, it's an extremely impactful program with some of the best speakers you may hear at any price, at any venue ever. For example, we have Chris Norton speaking this year. He's been on People magazine cover. He was also, there are 2 movies and 2 TV shows about him. So if you want to Google Chris Norton, we get him. He's charging $25,000 for 45 minutes usually, and he does TED Talks. We get him for a fraction of that price because I happened to know him before he became this national celebrity. We even had Stedman Graham, and this audience knows who Stedman Graham is. The kids didn't know who he was and couldn't care less that he's Oprah's whatever. I said something bad, so we had Stedman Graham come speak, and he was my lowest rated speaker that weekend to these students. So, and he's written 11 books, 5 on youth leadership or team leadership. So you'd think he'd be just a rock star, but he wasn't. So these other speakers that we have are just, I've strong armed them into what we can afford and told them, look, I know you got to make a lot of money, but this is one thing where you're going to have a tremendous impact on students and make a lifelong change. Some of what you do has to be, you know, impactful and not making money. So to tie the bow on this, where's the energy you feel from the kids? Oh, because of how the kids are selected, they're not your average student. The school picks usually kids that have demonstrated leadership skills or leadership abilities at the school. So you're not getting the average kids. I've been doing this 24 years. With one student exception, they've all been a pleasure to meet and an honor to be around. And I was just thrilled to meet them. And the student last year that I hope I never see again. But other than that, just amazing kids.
They didn't come from our club.
No, it wasn't. I know what school she is. I know the club's a sponsor for her. I'm looking for that application because she said she's coming back and there's no way. The cost is $400 per student. And I strongly encourage you, this might be my last point, to come out and see what we do at RYLA. You got to see it firsthand. You got to watch the trust fall, that Michael trust fall. You got to be careful of it, in that. But you got to see what happens in action. You got to see the speaker's impact on these students, how the students interact, how the staff interact with the staff, because with the kids, it's something. I'm not going to overhype it. It's a weird thing. It's my 2 favorite weekends of the year. My wife hates me saying that because I just come back so energized from the positivity around the students, the speakers, and the staff that we call it the RYLA High, because you just know you're helping some amazing kids make a difference, and they're going to go out and do things we'll never fully know. But there's groups of kids from our first few years that still get together and do mission trips up until pre-COVID anyway. They're doing mission trips to South America. So we just don't know the impact, but I know it's significant. And when you come up there and you see it in action, you just don't listen to me or you know someone that's been there, because it's different in person, and you'll be like, wow, that's $400 well invested in your student. You just I can't sell it in words. I really can't, but you'll see the impact of your dollars, and it makes fundraising a lot easier when you see what you're doing.
Okay. Sean's gonna take questions at the end. Is that all right?
Sure.
We're gonna take questions at the end. Sean, you just want to sit down there for a second because we'll have Wes talk and then.
Sure, I'll just put this one. Go ahead, Wes.
Yeah, so, wait, Gillette, do you want to jump in and ask your question? Because it was probably directed at him.
It is, and we'll do that after.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. So,
Jim's show.
I went to RYLA. My little sister was 7 years younger than me. I went to RYLA. Like Jim said, both his kids went. When you had kids who were around Rotary at that time, you sort of got lucky and got, you know, you were one of those who probably demonstrating leadership somewhere. And that's sort of what the selection process was like for me. I was really lucky to know somebody who was involved in putting it on that Jim has done for so long. But it's essentially like sophomores, essentially high school sophomores. I don't know what the magic is about getting kids at that point in time in their life. Maybe you guys can speak to that more than I could, but being there at that time specifically had an impact on me. I was malleable in a way that I might otherwise not have been. But if it hasn't hit home what this was yet, it's essentially a weekend. It's a weekend away where you get plucked from your everyday life, don't really see a lot of other people that you know, and go to this leadership. To call it a retreat is probably not the best word, but it's a weekend. It's an intensive. It was a really intense weekend that was filled with a ton of different speakers, a ton of different activities, all surrounding the topic of leadership. And it was sort of twofold for us. It was acknowledging that you're here because you were seen to have been a leader in something or picked, because of that, but also you're here to learn about leadership and sort of engage in that with other people in these activities that you did for the entire weekend. Did I make connections there? I was reflecting on this on the way here, and I really have looked at this weekend as probably what was my first networking event ever, where I just sort of got plucked in. You're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to be around people that you don't know and forced to be an upstanding person to represent yourself well. You have no preconceived notions with anyone. You are a blank slate with everyone there, and sort of who do you want to be. And I decided to bring my guitar with me. I don't know why. Don't know why I decided to bring my beautiful black Takamine acoustic guitar with me to this camp. Probably wasn't even allowed, but there was a campfire at night. Of course, I brought that thing out. We played some guitar out there, and so one of my abiding memories was of the girls that I met there. Because of that, as you might be able to remember, this was a time that was, when I went there, had to have been, I graduated in 05, so 4, 3, 2, probably 02 was around the time that I went there. This was before the time of social media, or when kids had cell phones all the time everywhere. That it was just before that sort of happened. So I wasn't able to keep in touch with the people that I met there any more than the first couple of months after. I don't have the Facebook groups like it sounds like other people did, but I definitely kept in touch with a number of people that I met there for a long time. And like I said, it's like the first time you're ever networking and representing yourself somewhere. And I thought that part was really cool. What affected me the most was, honestly, the ability to be, I think I've already sort of described this, to be who I wanted to be all over again, and sort of reintroduce myself to a whole bunch of people that I didn't know. It gave me just so much energy, and the speakers talking to you about sort of how to talk to different people. Like, it was the first time anyone had ever sat down and talked to me like an adult and said, here's how you lead people, and here's a bunch of exercises to go do that kind of stuff. That was really fun to me. I think that was a tremendous investment in me. It was a tremendous investment in my sister and all the other people who've gone to this. I can't imagine a better few $100s spent for this club in terms of impact on one person's life. It's a weekend, so it's hard to, Jim asked me to name the individual speakers a speaker that stuck out to me, and I had a really difficult time recalling an individual. I remember a guy with great pants that had it was like a American flag pants or something like that. I think maybe that's just in my brain. You can tell me if I'm wrong about that, but that's something that stuck out to me. What I remember more than the individuals' names was how it made me feel and how I felt coming out of that, going back. And I came back and was captain of every single team I ever played on, been a leader of every group I've ever been a part of since then. And are those two things correlated? I guess that's for you guys to say. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Jeff.
Okay, so like Sean's called me a rock star, and I'm not. What I do is I go to the school, and if I have a receptive teacher who knows a little bit about Rotary, I just go and talk to them about it. I had that at Hoffman High School, and I lost it. She went on. Maggie King was a great teacher, and she really promoted not just RYLA and Rotary, but she also promoted, getting involved in your community, and that was great. And so after she left, she, passed the reins to another teacher, and I went and talked to her, and there was nothing. I just couldn't get her to bring kids into and I said, it's free, it's, this, and she just couldn't support it. So Sean asked me a couple of years ago, what's going on? How come we're not getting any students? And that's the reason why. Well, we are now at Conan High School because of Tom. He gave me the name, and Dave Moravec is just, he couldn't be better as far as promoting Schaumburg Rotary. Rotary and RYLA, and he had his wife did, I think she was an ambassadorial scholar, so through Rotary. So she has also told him, hey, this is a great very dynamic organization, and you should get the kids involved. Well, I went and spoke at Friday luncheon with them. I missed a lunch here, and I went to that. And then he backed me up and said, this is a great program. I showed them materials, and now we've got about 21 kids that want to get involved this year. So which is a great turnout, right? The problem is that we've not budgeted for that. And as a matter of fact, I think I said to Ted, hey, Ted, we're probably not going to spend that money. You know, take some of that back, because I'm not sure we're going to, if we have this. And then all of a sudden Dave came in and we started, I had this really nice rapport with him. And I went and talked to the kids, and they are all in. And I could tell they were all in because they were asking a lot of questions about the program, and which was great because, you know, I could get the feedback. And so now I said at 21, I said, you better stop, because I'm not sure we've got the money for that. It turns out that 2 other clubs said they would help. So we've got enough for about 10 kids to go. And I may come back and ask you to spend some more money to make the difference up. And I also would like to send as many as they'll send us. And the truth is that I don't know how long Dave is going to be in there. I'm sure he's going to stay for a long time. But the thing is like, he may take a different job. And if that's the case, then we're going to lose, you know, that. And we don't want to lose the impetus that we've made so far in the program. So that's pretty much it with RYLA. Now, I know you have questions. Sean, if you don't mind coming up here, if you would just help answer the questions, that'd be great. You have a question, John?
Sean, so I wondered if you spoke to other districts. Not all districts have a program like this, but many of them do that are pretty exciting. All my kids went to Camp Royal, which is in Northern California, part of their district. And again, same thing that you guys are talking about, speakers that come out of the woodwork that are fantastic, you know, and maybe even Northern California would get, you know, Olympic, you know, gold medalists and whatnot to come out and talk about it. I guess my question is, are you in touch with other regions of the United States for what they're doing with their camp? Because you could share the same kind of people.
Yes and no. We're very. I want to share everything. I don't care if they go to what leadership. If they stay in the RYLA program, even the district in Southern Wisconsin, they do a national affairs program in June. It's a week-long thing that costs like $1,500. They won't. We let us cross market. They see depending on the youth governor. They see us as competitive entities. I went to the Southern District right below 6450. It's because they do a week or weekend in Lake Geneva, and they have like a committee of 12, and then they for 60 kids, and they saw me as a competitive entity, and they didn't want to work with me. So they're worried about keeping those dollars within their own Rotary district. So
not so much the dollars, but the speakers. I was thinking maybe more.
Oh, I would love to share the speakers and the staff, and they'd love to go to other RYLA districts. But even when we've gone to the national RYLA conference, it's like, nice to meet you. Just go in. So
they're friendly.
When is the retreat?
March 6th through 9th, April 3 through 6. It's a Thursday night till Sunday noon.
I have a question for Mr. Fabbrini. What other clubs have you partnered with?
What are the clubs?
Yes.
The Schaumburg AM Club and Elk Grove.
Okay.
Both said that they would put some money in. That I just need to contact them to see how much money they have. And another thing too is Sean is really good at, I know if we go over and then we don't have the money, he'll find the money at other clubs. I mean, that's how important it is to him, you know. So
I've never received an application that didn't go to RYLA so far. Hold on, who's first? Yes.
Are all 21 kids that you've got applications from, are they all from Conant High School?
Yes.
So far, yeah.
Yes.
No contact with Schaumburg High School?
Last year, Schaumburg AM sent 4 or 5, but then yeah.
And he told me he can't find any. So, I mean, I'm saying he's talked to this teacher there and they haven't. That's why he's willing to give us money to
put in. I can send the Schaumburg residents that go to.
Yeah, I'm talking about, you don't have a contact at Schaumburg High School like you have at Kona.
Not yet. That's,
I've actually left Schaumburg out because the AM club said they kind of staked their claim in about 10 years ago.
I'll come back.
We understand from a foundation board standpoint, Jim came to us with regard to potential budget issues. So we'll take a look at it very, very closely. We are well aware of how successful this program's been, and we'll take a look at it to try and make anything we can do to make that work for us. So don't get too excited right now about any of that kind of stuff because we're aware of it, and we'll be talking about it as soon as Jim gets a final number. And I know that's a little, might be a month or so, might a couple weeks away yet.
Yeah,
So
probably.
we're aware of it.
Yeah.
We're working.
So I'll have to increase fines, right?
Yes, that'll help, Alan.
Yep.
Can you sponsor each one?
Absolutely.
So
I sponsor one or two every year, if I can't find it. Just so you guys know, I ran a golf outing since COVID ended. And they put the money in that weird account and we haven't been able to use it. So it's been really frustrating. Like, hey, we have this 24,000, but you can't use it. So supposedly it's been released and I might be able to use it. So I might be able to access that money too. So, but yeah, if you want to sponsor student, if you do, I strongly encourage you to come up and see your money in action.
yeah, so I would like to do that.
Awesome. Thank you.
So I don't know what needs to happen to
I
do
can
that,
send you
but-
all the applications you can pick.
Oh, I would very much like to.
Well, awesome. If you have a business card, I'll send all the ones I have so far.
I do.
Just for the record, I haven't had any sugar since January 1st. Those things are freaking amazing. My mouth's still salivating. I did eat one, so I strongly encourage you to try them. Holy crap, it's so good.
Hold on, in case it wasn't also obvious, not every RYLA district has a Sean Nelson. Also, not everyone has someone as super charismatic who would lead this thing the way that he does. So, like, we are uniquely lucky to have the resources that do here. So I wanted to make sure that you guys know that, like, not everybody has as good as we do with that. So it's even more so that.
Wow, thank you, Wes.
He just bought it into the store.
Do we know what Wes's go-to song is around the campfire?
The only thing I remember
Girls
about-
fall in love with them.
The only thing I remember
I
about
can
Wes,
maybe guess the band.
if you had said what's your memory of Wes, I said a guitar and a bunch of women following him all around.
He had to have that one song.
Yeah, Wes was pretty popular. Pretty popular.
All right, any other questions? Yeah. All right, thank you. I'll take care of it. Anyone wants to see the? Yeah, you need that size? I've got them all. All right, thank you.
Good job, guys. Thanks. Great presentation. Let's rise. Close this thing down. All right, four-way test. Jim Fabbrini.
Four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. First, is it true? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
We are the friendly club.
We are the Rotary Club.